The Group on Earth Observations is an organization that began 10 years ago to unleash the power of Earth observing data and ensure it gets applied to global decision-making in many different domains. We right now, those of us on this planet right now, we are the first generation of human beings ever in all of global history to have the ability to take the pulse of the planet in this way, with these arrays of instrumentation from satellites to buoys and other instruments, to gather that information that lets us start to have foresight, the ability to look ahead about what the weather will be tomorrow, or the climate in a few years, or the state of the ocean 10 years from now, or the outlook for your crop next season and the food security of your country. So this is an extraordinary, completely unique moment in human experience. GEO aims to facilitate the sharing of all those sets of data among countries and organizations, so we all have the global public goods that enable us to provide this kind of environmental intelligence, and also to set the frameworks so that all those data are interoperable. I can use yours, you can use mine. Sharing it is good, but using it together is really what's very important. If you think of all of the planet's history as 24 hours of a clock, this has come about in the last microsecond before midnight on a day. And we're living it. And so we also are figuring out, as citizens and societies and technical communities, we're figuring out how to do it best, how to make it work best, how to bring the pieces together. So, as I say, it doesn't just become science data. It doesn't just become collected in a repository somewhere. It actually comes into play in society, in business, in economies, in managing the environment itself. And we actually tap the value that this extraordinary new capability has. It should take us some time to figure it out. We're the first human beings ever in history that had this wonderful challenge to solve. And GEO is a very significant and important mechanism in bringing countries and organizations together to work in tremendously constructive, collaborative, collegial ways to do just that. And that's what makes it so exciting. I think my personal history from early days as a very young girl that just adored maps, to my training as an earth scientist and an oceanographer, and my experience as an astronaut, I think all of that, it not only gives me, I believe, some talent and capability to contribute to GEO, but it actually gives me a tremendous delight and passion to be at GEO, because all of those experiences together, particularly the opportunity to look out a spacecraft window and see the Earth myself, it made me want to be sure that this extraordinary capability we have now to take the pulse of the planet doesn't remain just a pretty view I had, and doesn't remain just abstract scientific information in a journal somewhere, but that it actually comes off the page and out of the instrumentation and connects to real people's lives, to the real decisions and real challenges that we face across this globe at every scale, from an individual family to an entire country. And that is entirely what GEO really is about, to share in the building of that capability, to take the pulse of the planet. It's a system of systems, to ensure that all that we do together is interoperable and really can be used around the globe to meet various needs, and then to help find ways to drive the tools and capabilities to deliver that information to the people who really need it. It just completes the circle, I think, of the passion that has inspired me from my youngest age.